Okay, it's James Murray. We're in the Net News Ledger newsroom, and no, I'm not here with Anonymous. I'm here with one of the creep catchers. You're wearing a mask for an interview. How come?
Well, I'll tell you, it's definitely not for my safety as much, or my family's safety. I do it because, like, what we do in being creep catchers is we meet with people who have no idea who we are. Right, and so the last thing I want is them to be able to get the jump on me as opposed to seeing me before I see them. And the last thing I see is a guy running down a field somewhere.
Now, creep catchers seems to be growing across Canada and across North America.
Yeah.
What is creep catchers?
Creep catchers is, well, it's like a concept really, but with us it's an organization started and founded by Dawson Raymond, who is a really good friend of mine. He started his organization in, I believe it was October 2015 in Calgary. And basically he just had enough of hearing the stories that he heard about the various, young girls being met by older men offline and whatnot. And he just said, I'm going to do my part and put a foot down. And that's where this all became of. And Creep Catcher, basically what it is us as adults, we go on the various chat sites and we make profiles that says we're 18, and then we're approached by all kinds of men, and then that number gets cut in half once we approach those people with our true age, saying that we're between the ages of 12 and 15. And then at that point, like I said, the number's cut in half. A bunch of them screw off and they go away or whatever, and then we're stuck with the real creeps,
Yeah.
And at that point, we let them make all the sexual moves, and we let them do all the dirt and be the creeps. So basically, that's how it keeps it sort of not to say legal. I mean, it's legal, right? It keeps it so we're not luring them. We're in no way we're luring them in any way, shape, or form. We're letting the creep be the creep.
So now you've gathered up all this information on some guy who wants to date an underage girl.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with it?
Well, first we document all what we call the chat logs, and that's just various screenshots of the texts that we get from these guys, as well as the chats from Plenty of Fish and stuff like that. And then we put them in our files. We'll print off some and we'll take them for the meet, so that if anybody tries to deny it, I got pictures of you, I got your phone number, I got what you said to me, I'll call your number on camera. It's it's pretty much a wrap. I don't do it on a whim. I tell these guys, I don't come out here and do this on a whim. I do this is what I do, and if I'm coming and meeting you in public, then that definitely means that you're guilty, or you're definitely asking minor to come out and meet. So
now, what kind of response are you getting here in Thunder Bay? What's been happening? I
believe truly I'm getting a pretty good response. I mean, the public loves me, and as far as to what I'm doing, and they're feeling, some people are telling me they're feeling safer and more comfortable having people like what we're doing here. I say me, but I don't want to seem greedy, because it is a three-man crew, Thunder Bay Creep Catcher, as well as we have lots of other people and fans and supporters and followers who also help out in as many ways as they possibly can too. So it's not necessarily my organization saying Thunder Bay Creep Catcher, be it my chapter, I'm the president, but it's ours as a whole, because there's so many people that get that engine turning in the morning. So I don't want to say that, I want to get that out right there.
So now you bust a guy.
Mm.
What's your success rate so far?
My success rate? Well, what do you mean, like...
Okay, you've been going for how long in Thunder Bay?
Today marks 2 weeks to the date, and I have actually made 8 meets, so 8 busts, but due to sufficient evidence, and be it the 2 that I didn't actually film or post, I should say, the videos just weren't up to par with how we do things, and I'd rather scrap 3 videos a week than post up 10 and end up getting sued or something because I'm not using sufficient evidence. And we play by the rules at Creep Catchers. So like if by chance there's anything that one of my fishers, that's the name we use for the guys that are talking to the creeps and stuff like that online, any of those people don't keep the chats clean, as we call it. If the chats are clean, that means we did not impose any of the acts sexually or any of that stuff. And if the chats are clean, we use them, we bust the guy. If the chats aren't clean, I've scrapped a few of them because I can't use them, right?
You bust a guy, would you give the information to the Thunder Bay Police?
If it's, like, the thing is they get real backlogged, eh? Like, there's only really so much they can do, and I've been in contact with the Thunder Bay Police already. They know me and I know them, so if I come across somebody who I consider to be the real dirtbag, you know, somebody, be it, you know, with child pornography, or somebody that's bringing up the mention of something along that lines, or even somebody tells me, you know, I love him young, and you know, if I get with you, you'll be like my seventh minor, that, you know, stuff like that, and then in that case, I will definitely be in contact with the appropriate authorities. I would never want to see anything happen, or I'd never want to. I couldn't live with myself knowing that I let somebody like that get away.
Now, for the parents out there who are going to be watching this interview,
Yeah.
what should parents be doing with their kids that are going, their teenage daughters that are going online? What should parents do you think?
Monitoring it for sure. I do believe, like, you know, when your kids are 13 and 14, they don't want you to be over their shoulder all the time, and that's understandable. I know myself, as when I was younger, you know, I didn't like it when my mom was right over my shoulder, but there's definitely plenty of apps and things you can get now on your tablets, your smartphones, and your computers that allows you to monitor the types of sites that your kids are going on. And then if you notice them going on chat sites that you don't think is appropriate, you can definitely have that talk with them then, and then they feel like you're giving them the freedom that they deserve as their age, you know.
It's a scary topic, and I'll admit we haven't done an interview with someone wearing a mask at the
That's what I thought.
I
Yeah.
understand
That's what I meant by is this the craziest request you've ever had?
Yeah, well,
Getting there, eh?
we've interviewed a few politicians that are always a lot of fun.
I bet.
No offense to anyone out there.
No
but
doubt.
I appreciate you coming in and explaining a little bit about what Creepcatcher's doing, because you're getting a lot of attention on social media,
Yeah.
and people need to know. Now, I guess the message is to parents: watch what your kids are online doing.
For sure, yeah. Just keep an eye on what they're doing, and you know, if they're old enough to understand and you think you can have that talk with them, give them an earful. Just explain to them, you know, they're not necessarily going to be a target, but there are very bad people out there, and you just have to be very careful. And you know, when you're talking to somebody that you've met on PlayStation or Xbox or Wii or MSN or Facebook, you don't always know who you're talking to. That picture you see in the corner, that's all you see is a picture. You could be talking to a 45-year-old man, a 65-year-old woman, or a 12-year-old girl. You really don't know until you actually see that person. You have no idea.
Yeah. I appreciate you
You can
coming
be
in.
catfished all day long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
done, bud.
And I guess, guys, the message is, if you're out there trolling for young kids,
I'm gonna get you.
James with Net News Ledger.